Yes, and welcome back to the What's Going On podcast. Normski TV here. See that somebody's already in the chat, shall I say, not in the chat, but obviously watching. It's good to be back. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and share. As I said, on the road to 300. Thank you for those people that have subscribed to me in the last couple of days. Really appreciate that. Let's make this community grow. Looking forward to it. And we have got a great show tonight. Unfortunately, Kofi Clock can't be here tonight for whatever reason. He may be in the chat, I don't know. But he said, unfortunately, he can't make it tonight. I've got Calvin already straight in there. Yes, Mr. Calvin, how you doing, bro? Straight in there. You'll get your prize in a couple of weeks' time, yeah? So just look out for that in the post. A brand new keyboard. DX7, you know them squid way there. No, not really. But yeah, so we have got a great show on tonight. And the weekend, what a weekend of football. Mad, it's crazy. Mad crazy. Big up to Sentiments in their second, and your prize will be awaiting you, mate, whatever that will be. But yeah, I have got two gentlemen waiting in the green room, and yes, Latoya is in there, third place. So Latoya gets the bronze. We've got a lot to talk about your team tonight, Latoya. It's going to be really interesting. Darwin Noodles, Big D's ready to cook him, but I'm sure you are ready to cook Big D because you were sending me some text over the weekend. Something to the effect that you saw Big D walking out of the stadium, the Brentford Stadium. You might want to say that to him when he comes on. But yes, sir, we're gonna bring the guys in. First of all, let me bring in Mr. Big D and Mr. Ez. Hopefully, Mr. Chili will be joining us. As I say, he's 50-50 at the moment. Ez was calling him out on the chat in our podcast, our WhatsApp group. Man said, well, it's not like you, Chili, to not be on the show tonight to defend yourself. And I'm sure Ez has got a lot to say tonight. The game at the weekend, what a game. We are going to be going through the schedule tonight and the Prem preview and your player ratings. We're going to be doing that. We're going to quickly run through that. We're also going to be looking at Ref Watch, Mr. Ez. You know their way there, yeah? Anybody wearing a wig tonight, be careful, yeah? Be careful for certain mans, yeah? Yeah? Romario, he likes wigs. He likes pulling people's hair. Anyway, say no more. We also got the gloves are off. Conte v Mr. Tuchel or Mr. Tickle, as you can see rolling along the bottom screen. Mr. Tuchel. And this it keeps coming up. And I know Mr. Sentiment said this should be a show. We shouldn't call this the What's Going On show. We should call this What's Going On, Mr. D. Yeah. Have you got, or whatever that show was last week. But should Ten Hag just walk away from this mess? That's the big question. And lastly, we're going to end up with the WGO prediction league table. Certain man's has got a big smile on his face, or will have a big smile on his face when I show you the Premier League prediction table or the What's Going On prediction table. And this is basically us predicting different teams and whether you get the exact score and the outcome. You get 3 points. If you guess the outcome, you get 1 point. If you guess wrong, you don't get 0. You get zilch. So D, even though your team is rock bottom, you are top of the league. But I will reveal the Premier League table in a bit. But before, listen, excuse my manners. I've been chatting away and welcome Mr. Asher. Ready to come in the chat and do your business, Mr. Asher. A big Arsenal supporter. Right, let's just go through the quick chats first. Let's welcome the people in. Welcome to Philip. Yeah, there he is. Please say Big D is on tonight. Pleased to see Big D on tonight from Philip.
Right. Zero chill, you know. Zero chill. Listen, I've never shirked my responsibilities. I'm here.
Oh, here we go. So this is the exact quote, or this is the exact name of the show from Sentiments. Big up, Normski. Another episode of D needs to talk about it. Big up to my missus, Jay. Yes, big Liverpool fan. She was nearly mashing up the place on the weekend. Nearly mashed me up, but it is what it is. Darwin Noodles, yeah. The only target he found was somebody's face. We'll talk about that in a bit. Big up to Mr. Craig. what you're saying into the panels
Yes,
there.
correct.
Let me just quickly just go through. Yes, Big D, I'm ready. That's from Asher.
Come true, my you. Come true.
Right, look, lot of smoke for you tonight, bro. Make sure you ain't got no wood in the fire there. Calvin saying, "What on earth? What on earth up with Manu against the team with a bus stop in the in Oslo?" Wow. Yes, my dear. Big up Generals and the panel. Norms D again from Mr. Sentiments every time.
Big up.
Latoya again
yes,
saying. Yeah, she was sending me some texts at the weekend. She said she thought she saw you walking out of Brentford Stadium. Yeah. Unless you've got a double, I don't know. We'll see about that.
I've been gripping up mans, you know they want.
Right. So listen, the chat is going off crazy. Calvin again saying, "I must admit, Chelsea versus Spurs weekend game was a proper aggro with the managers." What Arteta fans was crying about ref last season, was here, none of it. So some same way. Big up to Mr. Root Calls. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, bro. Big up to you. Big up, guys. Loving the younger Ed's energy. Yeah, there you go. There he is. There he is for you, bro. But listen, mind my manners. Mr. D, should I ask you this question? How was your weekend?
You can ask me, Norman.
How was your weekend, bro?
The weekend was actually good, apart from the football, as obviously.
Yep.
And you know what? I went to bed and got a solid 7.5 hours sleep in every day. I ain't losing sleep over these, man. Trust me on that one. You know that one? Listen, I am not on no change around a weekend thing. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my sleep and be able to do my paid employment. But yeah, I'm good. With the team, you know already. But as in me, the family are well. Spoke to mum yesterday. She's good.
Yeah.
So she's not cool. She probably should be. You know what I mean? But yeah. Other than that,
okay then. Okay.
I know the banter's going to be real, so I got to put on the shirt and embrace the madness. Innit?
Have you got a bulletproof vest under there?
Nah, I'm all right, mate. I'm skinned. Cool, yeah? My nurse told me they were there.
I've got a couple of helmets as well that you can probably put on your head as well, yeah, just to protect you, yeah. Mr. Ez, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, you know what? I'm at peace, you know.
Yeah?
I'm all right. Yeah, sure. I'm good. I had
you weren't like that. You wasn't like that on Saturday or Sunday when I rang you.
I'm at peace now. You know,
peace.
You know, that's why I could come on your show and smile with the people. Them, yeah, because you know when we get to my section, we'll get to my section. But you know, yeah. But other than the fraud stuff that happened on Sunday, you know, Chile ain't here, so that's even why I'm more at peace. You know, because you know when guilty conscience know when not to come close. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
it's like that, is it? Yeah, it's like that, right? Okay, then. Well, listen, at least you're at peace. Yeah. I don't know about Chile. If he does come in tonight, hopefully
he's not coming tonight. He's not coming.
Yeah, he's not coming tonight. Well, no, we can tease him. We can say enough things to get him out of his shell, out of his cave. You know what I mean? What's this? Calvin saying Ten Hag is partly to blame for the first two games. We will come on to that. And hear what these thoughts are on that. Thank God he's not green jersey like your team. That's from Calvin. Big up, Ian. Hope you enjoyed your holidays and everything, man. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show. And sentiments. I hear Ten Hag's new name is Eric Ten Duck Tongues. Oh boy. Listen, we'll get into it. But listen, let's quickly go into the weekend games. We are going to look at the weekend games. Just a second here. Let me just turn off my WhatsApp thing here, and let's go back to Saturday, the 13th, and the first early game kickoff, Aston Villa v Everton, and that ended up Aston Villa 2, Everton 1. Stevie G meeting Mr. Lampard. Well, some people like to call him Fat Lamps, but I can't talk. But yeah, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Watch the game. It was. I mean, listen. I think Aston Villa had pretty much control of the game. Everton came back into it. I think they ended up scoring an own goal. That's why Everton ended up getting that goal. But looking at who actually scored in that game was Benduia, an assist from Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings in the first half, winning 2. What's this? Oh, Palace. Okay, you're going for that. All right. Okay, D. I just see something there. Okay, so that's the prediction for this weekend. Yeah, and Danny Ings scoring again another assist from Ollie Watkins. What I don't know if anybody got to see the game or saw the highlights of the game. What are your thoughts on that game? And Everton. Listen, they're without a striker. You've got their main false nine, Anthony Gordon, being linked with Chelsea, I believe. What are your thoughts quickly on that game?
You have to look at Frank and whether it's being back, because Calvin Lewin is the biggest sick note in football right now. So surely he gets another striker in the summer. That makes no sense. Otherwise, he's really going to get his team relegated. And so I look at Stevie G needed that win. I think they both needed the win, but yeah, Frank, you have to wonder what's going on there, because Calvin Lewin is not it for me, and that's your main man on decent money, and he cannot stay fit for love or money. So they're going to struggle if they don't get a backup striker or a different striker within the transfer window closed. So,
well, you know what it is. They were saying because obviously Anthony Gordon now is obviously pushing for a move now. You know what I mean? I think he said he's been turned. Young guy. I think Everton. Quote me if I'm wrong. Is it around about the £50 million mark? 45,
yeah,
50 million?
It's about that. It's 25 million cash. The rest is add-ons.
Right. Okay.
So it's obviously quite lumped on add-ons, and I guess Chelsea won't care once again if the performance is coming, paying the rest of it. So, but he's not really a striker. So he's a, as you said before, he's like a false nine, but he's more of a winger.
Yeah.
That obviously they've got no other choice but to play him in the middle. At the moment. For me, Everton have done poor business. They nearly went down last season. You thought they would be, they'll be doing everything to get the right players in. They got good amount of money for Richarlison. They're potentially getting another 40 million for this Gordon guy. That'll be almost 100 million in income. If they should be doing business. I'm not saying they're going to attract anyone amazing, but you need someone that's going to at least challenge and keep them competitive. So poor business so far from Everton. Apart from Cody and Tarkowski, those are good signings. That's quality.
Yeah, Cody's gone on there on loan, isn't he? He's on loan. He's a Liverpool supporter, so I was a bit strange him going to Everton. You know what I mean? I think he's burnt his bridges now if he wants to ever get a chance to go and play for Liverpool. But you know what I mean? He's there. I think if say Everton have said they don't want to sell him, but if Everton do sell him, then they need to take that money and go and buy a striker. They've got what's their backup striker? They've got he's off the bench. Can somebody just remind me what's his name?
Everton.
No, for Everton, yeah. What's his name?
Backup striker.
Yeah. He came off the bench.
Rondon. Is it Rondon?
Rondon. Rondon. Yeah, Rondon.
He's another one that cannot stay fit.
Say that again?
He's another one that cannot stay fit.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
So even by default, you have to replace Richarlison, and they haven't done it.
Yeah, but it's silly though, because they spent money on Dele Alli, which was a nothing buy. It was, I don't know what premise they bought him on.
What was it? Something like 40 odd mil?
And now they're talking about send him off to Turkey.
Besiktas, yeah. Besiktas, yeah. Either on loan, because he's been there 7, 8, 9 months, and literally the guy has hardly played. And listen, he ain't going to get into the England squad. I think his time with England has finished, and it's a shame the way his career has gone. Yeah, it's pretty much gone downhill.
It's sad. It's sad.
But how on earth, Everton have gone and spent 40. I mean, listen. Tottenham, Arsenal did it with what's his name? What's the guy's name? We sold him for 40 million. What's his name with the locks, man? My memory's going bad. But
who do you sell him to?
Iwobi to Everton.
Iwobi.
Yeah, we sold him for 40 million.
Hey, I actually rate him, you know.
He starts every week, woman.
Yeah? He starts every week, but the thing is, he hasn't really pulled up trees for them. Do you know what I mean?
I rate him though. I rated him for you guys.
Yeah, do you know what it is? It's when he played for us again. It was just about. There was times in games, because he played out on the wing, but I don't know if his preferred position because now he's playing him in a deep line midfielder. Now that's what it's looking like at the moment.
Almost like a hooligan.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. But listen, it is what it is. But yeah, they need to sort out their business quickly. And if they do accept the bid, then they need to go out and definitely sort out a striker, because right now I did put them down as my team to go down with Bournemouth and I believe Fulham. Yeah, because I was saying Southampton, but I think I went with Everton. But you know, we'll see what happens there. Just quick question here, D from Latoya. Big D, I'm hearing Ronaldo, Rashford, and Maguire said United need more signings. Do you think that will solve United problems? Yes or no? That's all I want.
Well, we definitely need more signings, Latoya. That's for sure. But I don't know. These guys ain't got no business asking for new signings, right? Because you've got one that wants away, right? And then the other two are not performing. So you got no business chatting about Man United needing new signings. You're there on the big money. Those three there are probably the highest three, and De Gea.
Yeah.
On wages wise, Ronaldo, Rashford, Maguire, Bruno, and the goalkeeper.
And you know what?
So yeah, this is my thing, Latoya. If nobody comes in now, no other player comes in this window, that's a problem for you.
Very problem. What you've made three signings and they're free.
That's true, because you cannot push Ericsson like that.
Yeah,
man's got a pacemaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just wisdom alone tells you can't push the man like that.
Yeah.
So if no one comes in,
he needs to play in that glorified, like almost like how Özil and Berbatov had them glorified positions where, you know what, they're not interested when the team don't have possession. They're only alive when the team is in possession. You know what I mean? That's and if it's not that kind of match, he can't play.
Can't play him, yeah.
So,
so yeah, we'll see what the circus decides to do.
Yeah. Well, listen, just talking circus just quickly, and I just want to touch on this. You've pulled out the Rabiot deal. I'm hearing you've pulled out the Rabiot deal, and apparently 400,000.
Yeah, that's what
Rabiot wanted.
No, his
mom's mad.
Mom's his agent, isn't it? And she's always been a problem. And so it didn't surprise me when that came out. I said, yeah, man, because basically he supported her lifestyle as well. That's why she's the agent. Yeah. So, so if he's getting 400 grand a week, that's 100 grand for her. Ones. So lifestyle is as a superstar.
But right now, D, it's looking the way. Listen, I pointed my finger at Ez a couple of weeks ago. With regards to the scattergun approach. Now it's looking at Man United, just like kind of. Wow, well, we've missed out on him now. Let's go for Casemiro now. I'm hearing from Real Madrid. You're now linked with Dec from Barcelona. Dest from Barcelona. It's almost like all of a sudden now these players don't want to come to you. Well, after the weekend, I don't think anybody wanted to come to you. But listen, I mean, it's just crazy right now what's going on in terms of how your club is dealing with transfer business now, because the De Jong deal, I'm hearing now that the offer is now expired.
It's expired. Because it was supposed to be done before Barcelona made that last transition to 25% of something. And we never done it in that time. Or because basically they never wanted to pay me 70 million euros. So if he had just walked away and left to send 17 million euros, we would have signed it. I said we would have signed him. But then out of principle, United are saying we could pay him that money ourselves, but that's not owed by us. So it really is the whole thing. Like I say, after 2 months, should have walked away. I think 8 weeks to get a signing is enough. After 8 weeks, you walk away. And now they're trying to make out, oh, these guys were, all the names you're hearing now, and it's like, oh, these guys were on the list as maybes, but at the bottom of the list. So we literally run out of our top of the list potentials, and now we're scraping the barrel, allegedly. So do you trust it? I think everyone's lying. And as you can see, when Pogba and Lingard were blamed for the leaks, hey presto, the leaks have come back. And they're not in that changing room anymore. So it wasn't Pogba and Lingard. Even if they did leak, you're still getting the leaks there. So yeah, I look at that and I say, if no one comes in, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
And then you hear about they're trying to force him to sell James Gardner.
Yeah.
Now,
terminate Ronaldo's contract as well. Yeah.
Well, you say the terminate thing, right? And I think I said this a few weeks ago. If Ronaldo really wants to go, this millionaire can just buy out his contract, walk, because that's what he did at Juventus. So I don't get why he's still there, throwing his arms in the air like a petulant kid, not pulling his weight. Apparently, don't even eat with the squad now. No. Eats on his own. All this stuff is getting leaked out that man don't even eat with them now. You don't want that in the trade.
All I've got to say is that the culture. I really thought that Ten Hag coming in, I thought the culture would change. It looks like it's got worse. It looks like it's got worse. I'm sorry to say, mate.
But I think, and you'd have to go back into one of your shows, Norm. I actually said when they cut when they cut Ricky Welf loose, I was like, nah, what are we doing? Because I don't remember this, Norm, from way back when Ollie was having a train crash, and I said, get me Ten Hag and let Ricky Ralph become director of football. I said that from day one.
Yeah, remember that.
Right? And because we all know Ralph is not a manager. He helps to build the club background. He's got that black book. You see, man like Sesko would have been here opening transfer window if Ralph was still here. Trust me on that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you said it last time.
When he turned around and said, listen, this is major heart surgery. We need 10 man. The Glazers lost their mind saying, we're not buying 10 players. Now, no one's saying we have to buy 10 players in this one window, but buy at least 6.
There'll be a process, you know what I mean?
And they just felt that Ralph was here to spend their money. But Ralph is looking at the bigger picture saying, we're on a rebuild, let's start to rebuild. And then in 3 windows' time, then we're at least competing for a top 4. And then after the 5th window, we should be competing against Liverpool and Man City. But now, the moment you kick Ralph out, I'm going to put Chelsea in as well. The moment you kick Ralph out, that tells me you're really not serious. You're quite happy being that commercial beast. This is why I keep saying we're a big club, because commercially we're an absolute monster. And we're making their money and they're putting money into the NFL. So I look at it and say, these men say it's serious. Now I'm hearing they want 6 billion for the club. 6 billion in what world?
It's because what happened with Chelsea. They think it's that. It's not. It's not going to happen.
They think that there are loads of people are going to be lining up.
That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen.
Even if they get the 6 billion, for the club, are they going to take their 600 million debt with them? Because you just got paid 6 million for the club. So wipe your debt out and get the hell out of Dodge. I'm good. Green and gold until the listen.
Do you know what? Do you know why I feel like Man United's crisis isn't just at the board though? I think it's got to be at the choosing the right managers. Obviously that's board down. Hard is here, so we got to give him his time and that. But I've got to look at teams like West Ham or Brighton, where player for player, you cannot question that Man United's squad, player for player, are better than both West Ham and Brighton. So why can't we get these man drilled? Why can't we get these man playing a certain way? You know what? We get it. We can't play the football that City play. You can't play the football that Liverpool play, Arsenal play. Why not? Let's just get rigid to a stage where it's hard to score against us, and then let's try and play football.
Ez, I don't know. Listen, I don't know if you was watching another shot or what, but somebody came out and said that the players now are starting to moan about, especially with Liverpool coming up Monday, that they want to play more pragmatic because they can't play the Ten Hag system. Now, I don't know.
If
but
they play Ten Hag,
would you agree with that, Dean? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but this is what's been leaked out. But this is the thing, right? Surely, if them players had anything about them, they would have gone and watched a couple of Ajax games just to get a inkling, an idea of what this guy's going to come in and try and do at Old Trafford. Because he's trying to play that kind of football where you saw it in pre-season. Now, the key thing in pre-season, there was no Ronnie disrupting the squad. And he's come back, and it's a World War III there. Because now I'm hearing as well that half of the squad don't even want Maguire as the captain.
They shouldn't.
Now, I don't know. It's a head scrambler to one, because this is the thing. If you watch Maguire for England, he plays in a 3. He cannot play in a back 4, right? And so because and I always say teams that normally play in the 3 with the double pivot in front is because they don't trust one or two of those central guys to be consistent week in, week out. So there's a level of protection there. Then you allow your wing backs to just bump forward and help out in the attack. So you're still 5 defensive-minded kind of players allowing the wing backs to push forward. So you're either playing in a 3 or you're benching. But the price tag, the wages, the borderline, you can't bench him. He's an England international.
Yeah, but that's where the board, you got a proper non-football board.
Exactly.
And the truth is, regardless of his price tag and his wages, he ain't even doing anything for you commercially. He's not selling shirts. You know what I mean? He's not doing much. So actually, the board that are making these demands, they really ought to just sit back and let the manager do what he needs to do, or choose another manager, because of the because you know what I mean. It's not worked.
You have to look at it and say, okay, another manager is playing Freddie McTominay, Maguire, and Luke Shaw. When you still got Varane on the bench, Eric Bailly on the bench, the new left back is way better. And so I'm saying he's been told to pick these mans. And I said this last week about managing the team with one hand behind his back.
I didn't have him down as a yes man, you know. I didn't have him down as a yes man.
And the thing is, it might not even be about an S man. It might be that they sold him a dream to get him through the door.
Yeah.
And then just royally shafted him while he was in the door.
Let's listen. We might as well just say, should Ten Hag walk? That was one of my subject matters. We will come back to the rest of the game. Should Ten Hag walk away from this mess? Put it in the chat, guys. Do you think Ten Hag should walk away from this mess? They've sold him this dream. Yeah. He's upset now because the players that he wants. I mean, it's almost like you haven't got a director of football. You know what I mean? What is he doing?
No, you don't. Who's this director of football guy?
What is he doing? Do you know what I mean? He's having to rely on the Dutch league.
He had to come back, Norm. He actually said he's found the director of football job a lot harder than he imagined it would be. And I'm like, dude, are you special retarded? Who did you talk to before you took that job?
He was in charge of women's advisory before. Yeah. Which has nothing to do with the technical side of a director of football. It's his first gig. At Man United, it's his first gig.
This was a joke, right? Ralph actually had Paul Mitchell on speed dial.
Wow.
For that job. And so it would have been Ralph, Paul Mitchell working with Ten Hag and saying, right, leave us free to the football side of the business. You man handle what you've been handling in the commercial side of the business. But it's the power thing. Yes, Kate. Them mans didn't want to give up the power. So it's about controllers, and they're quite willing to kill the club, and the owners are quite willing to keep taking between their 10 and 15 million dividends, however minded. Relax. Because I'm going to read a statement that's going to shut you man's down with this Martinez thing. He's a bad man. I got a statement on here, right? And the statement is not even hearsay. It's facts from a person that played against him. So we could go about Martinez if you want to go about Martinez.
Okay, I think if you listen, mate, I think we're gonna have to just make this your show, bro.
Yeah, my show.
So if you need to read that statement, we're in a court of law. Order.
Okay. So Brentford game, Tony on the Martinez. To be fair to him, he was doing well and was very aggressive for a centre back. Obviously, if he gets beaten in the air, he does well on the floor, says Tony. It was a 50-50 at times, and I got the better, and sometimes he got the better. That's coming from the man that just played against him. So relax.
So hear this then, yeah? Doesn't it not make more sense to play him in defensive midfield, where if he loses them headers, he's still got a blanket behind him, compared to not winning that header and there's no one behind him?
Listen, the crazy thing is the crazy thing, and I don't know if you said it on the chat on our podcast, not podcast chat, on our What's Going On WhatsApp group, that you could understand it would have made sense to play him in that holding midfield and play with Ram. Because how it looked in that game, yeah, because it kind of looked like he had a bad game, right? And so he got taken off and then brings Varane on. Now, why didn't you start with Varane and maybe play Martinez in that midfield role? Do you know what I mean? Because it kind of looks a little bit.
If the striker that was up against him said that they were 50-50 in the performance, then I'm like, you're on the pitch, bro. I'm just watching. And I don't think he's had a bad game in either game. But Ten Hag's got to help himself, right? Because for whatever reason, these guys at Man United think that we don't need a CDM when we clearly do.
Yeah.
So I would have gambled against Brentford, right? I would have gone with Varane and Eric Bailly at the back, Malacia at left back, the lot at right back, Martinez in the hold. Yep. The rest of them can figure it out.
You know, this whole thing's offensive, yeah, to your club legend. You might as well have left Ollie where he was and let him do what he was doing, because no, you might as well have. You might as well have, because unless maybe it's too early to judge Eric. It's way too early to judge.
No, but this is why we're this soft and crybaby-ish because of Ollie. Because Ollie put an arm around man rather than grab man by his throat.
But players were throwing their toes out the plan when Jose was around. And the club sacked Jose because they weren't listening to him. When Jose was saying, nah, get rid of these men that are crying and all that, man. I'm trying to build a proper team. The club said, nah, the player power. So I think it's the club's fault why you got soft, man. Don't get me wrong. I get what you mean, because Ollie was a puppet. Ollie would do whatever the board say. So I kind of get what you're saying. But I can't see the difference now with Eric. If Eric just turns around and says, cool, I'm going to play these mans because you tell me I have to. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
If you look at the players, right, it's almost like they think they're playing Sunday League, where they're like, we don't want to be coached. We just want to go out and kick ball. Now, every time they've had a coach that
Gary Neville said it was like watching under-9s play.
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, because it's like a kickabout for them. Big money kickabout, driving Bentleys and top-end cars, Ferraris and all that. And every time a coach comes in to try and coach them, they rebuild. It's too hard. You imagine, these men ran, 14 kilometers more than we did, right? The next day, he had them in the training because he said, no, you're not getting a day off. You're going to run the 14 kilometers that Brentford ran more than you. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like,
but these men could never have Conte then. They could never have Conte.
What I'm saying is, and that's why Conte never came, because Conte would have had half that squad gone in 1 month. It's just like, just terminate the contracts. Now, I don't know how that works legally. I'm just saying that.
But is it what I'm saying? Is it the fact that Ten Hag is stubborn? I know you made.
Yeah, he's stubborn. He's stubborn,
and that could be his downfall because he spent all summer chasing De Jong. Listen, after, as I said, Chelsea moved on. As soon as they couldn't get the guy, they said, you know what, we move on. Todd Bowley said, yo, just move on now. Yeah, and I suppose the question is who's taking care of business? Is it Ten Hag or is it your director of football? Who's doing what? Because it just seems like shambles right now.
There's a lot of United fans that feel that Man United have given Ten Hag too much power. Now, you have to remember, under Fergie had all the power. Under Wenger had all the power. Yes, Junior. So I'm like, what's too much power? Is he actually signing the checks and all that? No, he's not. But if it's a case of that, he's got too much power on. If he's not good enough for the system, don't bother buying him.
I hear that.
Then I don't have a problem with that because you're going to end up with with players that you can't work with.
But what you got to remember, Norms, is that Woodward has gone to sit down now. And I know Woodward got enough criticism, but the truth is, Woodward could get on that plane, and although he might overspend, he's coming back with the player. More time.
Yeah.
More time. Not saying all the time, but more time. This new guy they got in charge, he's walked in them rooms and he's like, sorry, who are you again? Oh, okay. Oh, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I think that's the slight difference where Eric is meant to, I think this is the structure because it's been like this previously, where he puts a list of names he wants and that's it. He goes and trains the players that he's got.
Right.
And then every now and then he checks in. How's that going? Is he on his way or what? Like, you know what I mean? He isn't literally picking up the phone until the club has done their bit.
Yeah.
Listen, Man U are notorious. We know they're notorious for taking time to get their transfer. Listen, in the past, you take time, but you still get. What I'm basically essentially trying to say is that you still get your guy. At the end of the day, you still get your guy. The problem is what I've seen. This is probably the worst transfer window I've seen by this club.
Yeah,
this is the worst transfer because it's like 1 minute he's coming to you, next week the deal's off. You move on to a next player. You don't even know if he's coming or he's going, and it's almost like, well, am I coming in to challenge the guy, or is it a case of because these guys are happy getting their wages? Look at how long has Luke Shaw been at the club?
8 years.
Man ain't 10 years. The man ain't coming up.
Well, that's before you get onto Phil Jones.
Phil Jones. You have to remember that Phil Jones hasn't played a competitive game for maybe 2.5 seasons, and they signed him on a contract extension. In what world? You have not been on the pitch, but it's like, he's an asset. He's not a commercial asset. And you have to remember as well that they actually cut the wage bill. The players' wage. So they cut the wage bill because we didn't qualify for Champions League. And this is another thing that got Ronaldo's back up. Like, how dare you cut my money? Bro, you was a part of that. But then you see how he's behaving now. He ain't eating with man because he basically saying that Maguire ain't his captain, yet you're playing on the same team.
Straight.
Now, I listened to a Pep interview a couple of weeks back, and they pulled him on the captaincy thing. He said, I don't get involved with that. I let the players pick their peer to lead them. And I'm like, boom, there you go. There you go. Because you lot can't say, you gave him the captaincy. No. Y'all picked him. Listen to your captain. So I actually agree with Pep that the mans get together, the first team squad 25 mans, you vote your captain in. And that's what Man City did. So you see Gundogan wearing the armband, innit? Yep. Right. The players voted him in. Gundogan's a bad man. I take him every day of the week. Send him come.
And the thing about Gundogan, he was due to leave last season.
He was.
You know what I mean? But look, he's here now and he's got the captaincy. I suppose just in conclusion, a question I suppose. I was going to say this as well. Should Man U play the kids, D? Should Man U play the kids and hopefully try and get in some decent players? Because let me just bring in Mr. Chile. The man the man came out. The man came out.
I heard man was slandering me.
Yeah, the man came out for truth.
I was on my way to the countryside. I heard something going on in the city, so I had to come back.
Yeah. No, it's good to see you. It's good to see you come out of hiding. You know?
Listen, big up to Chile. Big up to Chile. Thanks for your
listen, I've got until 5:30, the missus said. So
yeah. Right, okay.
20 minutes.
We're gonna move. Yeah. So just quickly, D, should Man U play the kids or not? And then we'll move on to the next one. Yes, one Chile. From
there's definitely a few to put in there. Like James Garner, you've got to give James a go, right? And Garnacho as well. You got to stick him on that wing and give him a go, man. Because if Mason ain't coming back, then these men have got to be thrown in the lines. Then I think that's cruel. No, sometimes you need. Like, I remember when I first started playing basketball, I was playing with the older mans and getting battered. I'm playing with them mans 19, 20, and I'm just 14 years old. Yeah. But that's how you got tougher. So, I agree with Asher. Yeah, some of them can get in that first squad. And actually get to run.
What happened to Brandon Williams?
Nah, Brandon kind of washed, bro.
You really? I rate him, man. He washed up Chelsea once, man. He was good.
Yeah, and then Then he started hanging with, who was he hanging with and getting into all kind of foolishness.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's why he ended up going on loan, unfortunately. Because remember, he kept Luke Shaw out the squad for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember him scoring like a half volley against us.
Yeah. But for me, James Garnett is definitely someone that I think, yeah. And so that's why they want to sell him now, because he's an asset with no drama. How you say, sell him and make some money for us. Don't sell that.
So hold on. You're telling me this? You'd rather sell James Garner, but buy Rabiot, which is a problem child. You just got rid of Pogba, which they claim to be a virus, and you want to sign this man where his mum is asking for 400k, which already tells you, listen, this man don't even play for France.
And you know, we get in the team for France. Pogba never done what Ronnie's doing now.
I know, but his agent, they said, was the problem, right?
He held his tongue, took licks and abuse from the fans. Now Ronnie's doing that, and I'm like, what is Pogba would have been on a stake by now. Bunt.
100%. Same for Bruno. I think Bruno's played bad for so long that if that was ever Paul Pogba, if it was ever Paul Pogba,
he'd be getting cooked. He'd be getting cooked.
Yeah. What?
And that's where our fan base is very fragile.
I'm sure Gray soon as he was in cooking him now, even though he doesn't even play.
Still blaming Pogba.
Still blaming Pogba. Yeah. And Pogba's even injured for Juve. I've been watching the Juve games.
He's injured.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to go to the World Cup.
Somehow you'll get the blame for Man United losing the game. Somehow.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you what, because I know Chile's on a time thing, so we're gonna jump to the gloves are off. Now, we earlier on in my podcast, not this podcast, but a couple of weeks ago, should I say, we talked about the gloves are off, Ez and Chile. Now, the gloves are definitely off. Conte v Tuchel. Let's talk about the game. Chelsea 2, Tottenham 2. Take it away, guys.
Yes, sir.
No, take the floor, Chile. I think who was it? Your captain said it was a win by accident. So that's how much it meant to him.
I said to one of my Arsenal friends who was taking the mick, it felt like a win, and ask any Chelsea fan, it felt like a loss to them. That's good enough for now.
That's the standards difference.
Down to the game.
That's the standards difference.
Whatever. 96 minutes. 96 minutes.
Listen, hey, Chile, I saw one of your players.
Bullet in your heart. When you saw that goal going, your head dropped. You were like,
Of course. I got robbed. Of course, I was upset. I got robbed. I saw one of your players. Hold on. I saw one of your players pumping the crowd. You know how Klopp does it? Woof. And the crowd I'm like, whoa, they really won the league today. Won the league.
That's how we interact with our players.
What, by getting a draw?
Don't be mad because you ain't got that.
By getting 1 point, that's how you interact.
Yeah.
And your crowd are happy.
Right. Do you know that
okay, let me tell you this.
Those Tottenham fans travelled clean across London to your stadium.
Down the road.
Listen to all your abuse. And then the players just wanted to thank them.
Chile.
What's wrong with that?
My crowd got 1 point and they were disgusted. Your crowd get 1 point.
It was the 96th minute. I'd be disgusted too.
Listen,
you played to the whistle. You know what? The game was still going on.
I don't mind. The reason why, your manager turned around and said that he don't need no more signings. You know, his team's ready to go to compete. Where my club were a laughing stock a couple of weeks ago. Man, them making jokes about if my club will even exist. Going liquidated. What do you call us? Did you say if I got any money in the bank? That's what you were making jokes about, yeah? And we ain't done making our signings yet. And we come and draw with you, which we should have won. I don't know what you paid Mr. Taylor. I don't know what you paid. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Don't disclose it on Chile, don't go any further, mate. Don't disclose it on air, man. I don't think Lawman's got the public liability insurance for you to cover you if you say any more. Okay, don't say anything more about how much you paid him. All right, but let me tell you something. This is the last thing I'll probably say about the ref. The day that I know it's allowed to pull a man's hair, in the box, that's why I'm wearing the colours today. Yeah, you're all wearing the colours. I'm a neutral.
Yeah, but I wore a blue one for you. Just for you, I dug out a blue one.
Chile. I'm innocent. That's why I'm wearing white and pure. I'm innocent. Yeah.
Or did you surrender? Or did you surrender? Is that why you're wearing white?
Listen, I surrender before I pay a ref a brown envelope. Yeah, I surrender before I pay. All right, look, listen,
Big up,
seriously, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The fact that they said VAR had a look, I'd rather they said they forgot to check VAR or they just, I'd rather it be an oversight. They said they had a look, you know that. Norman, I wish you could bring up the hair pull for the people at home to see.
I wish I could as well.
I'm
gonna keep it real with you, yeah. I gotta bullshit you. When I saw that, I said, "He's gone. That's a red card." How could it...
on what?
When they said nothing at all.
There was something that I read, right? In the FA rules thing, and the hair pulling isn't in there.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's not illegal.
Okay, but it is it's dangerous. It's considered dangerous to pull hair. Put it like this: if I do it on road, I get arrested.
Yep.
Yeah,
but you'd also get arrested if you slide tackle someone on the road. So
yeah, true. I hear that.
You got a point there.
I totally hear that. But pulling someone's hair is dangerous. Yeah, it's considered dangerous play, and the referee, as to keep the game, they've got the players' best interest. Yeah, they've got the players' best interest and not to be negligent. So they've got to look at that, and the referee surely has to see that as devious. You know, that's just it. It's devious play, and maybe I'm not saying the corner shouldn't have standed. You know,
unsportsmanlike, isn't it?
Of course, bro. Yeah, of course, man. No, and you know what? I'd rather us play badly all game, and then we get that, and then you still score and all that. I'd rather us be winging it and you score. But the fact that we played well, we played well.
That's why he was going, whoa.
Yeah, of course. Of course. You lot knew you had no business it being in that game. You had no business.
You see how vexed you are about it? That is exactly where the exact opposite.
This is where I concede to you. This is where I concede to you. You see that boy Kai Havertz, where I was on here bigging up my chest a few weeks ago, yeah, telling you that he's worth the money and all them thing there, yeah. I was on here telling you lot that, and he missed that chance, basically an open goal. All he had to do is pick a spot.
Yeah.
That's the difference for me. Forget the referee doing his thing. I manage a small team up near my side, and the truth is the referee's always against us. That's just the nature. The referee don't work for us. You have to go and score the goals and make no argument. Go and win outright, no argument. Don't rely on the referee to help you on your side or get a bit of luck here and there. And the truth is, if Kai Havertz takes that chance, scores 3-2, we win the game. So
good crazy.
This is the thing though, Ez. This is the other thing, right? That the managers are made substitutes late on in the game. It doesn't help you. Hence why man's scoring in the 96th minute, because they're doing 30 seconds for him to come off, 30 seconds for him to come on. 1 minute added. Why are you making subs in the 89th minute?
Yeah, bad choice.
You got to look at that and say the game would have been over in the 93rd minute.
Root cause.
Remember Vinnie Jones?
Hey, this is where it is.
That was a Gaza that he done.
Listen,
that
against Tottenham, yeah.
Listen, I don't cry. This is what I'm doing from now on. If we're saying hair pulling is allowed, from now on, I'm just going to watch football like this. Is it? If I get beaten by 6-0 by Tottenham next time, you know what? Because that's just it. You know what I mean? I'm not getting robbed again. Listen, I was at my in-laws' house, yeah. Luckily,
why was it a robbery?
Listen, I was at my in-laws' house. Yeah, Norm's called me.
Any goal scored in 96 minutes is a robbery, man.
Listen, man. Listen, I was at my in-laws' house and I had to move out of character. I moved out of character. You understand? Like, luckily, my father-in-law is a bigger hooligan than me. You know what I mean? Luckily, big up Ken.
West Ham man,
big West Ham man, yeah. And even he was screaming at the TV because he hates Tottenham.
You know everyone hates us. We love it.
Listen, but that's the last time this season because these referees it's the same referee norms, yeah.
Yeah.
That sent off Kovacic in the FA Cup final for Xhaka stepping on his foot. Right. And he sent off my player for getting against.
I like that one.
Of course, you like it.
but there was another tackle on the Arvids. I can't remember who made the tackle. Was it Romero again?
A core, and that was all ball, man.
Nah, listen, that's soft. Yeah,
Yeah, some people said that he went through him.
He
so
did.
It should have been, and
He
I think
did.
some people were saying it should have been a free kick. But what was Jorginho doing in the box?
I haven't got the capacity to talk about Jorginho. I don't know. This is a very clean show, and I'm a clean man. You get me? I don't want to move that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hear this
though. The Richarlison was standing in front of Mendy, offside. Like, forget the Jorginho mistake. That is another referee, VAR, all of them things mistake. You know what I mean?
No, he wasn't interfering with play. He could see your goalkeeper.
He had to look round him.
The goalkeeper could see the ball get struck, and you could see it all the way to him.
No, he had to look round him. Now, if he's standing on side and he has to look round him, that's cool. But he's standing offside and he has to look round him. That's an obstruction of play. He's not interrupting with the ball, or you know what I mean. But being inside of the keeper.
Yeah, but then there was a Chelsea player behind him.
No, because he was offside.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But between him and the ball was a Chelsea player. And so if he wasn't there, the Chelsea player was there. Yeah, so the keeper, he didn't change that.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
Look at the distance between you can't. That's touching at straws. That's just bitter.
The fact is, he's offside. That is it. There's no argument. Is he offside? Yes or no? Is he offside of the goalkeeper? Yes or no?
Your manager done right. We got it wrong, and we still come away with a point. We can't ask more than that.
I tell you what,
last season we we did lose that fixture.
Yeah. Do you think bringing on Richarlison changed the game?
Yes, 100%.
When he ran off after Kane's goal, I got excited because I thought he had scored it.
Yeah. Because I was trying to work out if I didn't know if it was an own goal and everything. Because when I saw him running off, my son went, "Oh no, he hasn't scored, has he?" And then we realised obviously it was Kane that put it back into the.
I've always rated Richarlison, man. I was telling you lot this before when Tottenham. I told you, Chile. I told you this personally. That boy is gonna play good for you, and that's good because he's playing them both sometimes, which is clearly caused us problems. Look, could you imagine some of them lower down the table teams?
The fact that they can, and that's what I'm saying. The fact that
people always put us up against you or Arsenal. We don't need to worry about Chelsea and Arsenal. What will be will be. You've got to make sure you beat. Sorry, D, but you've got to beat the Brentfords and the Fulhams.
He's right.
You know what I mean?
Listen, there's only 15 likes. Get it up to 20 likes, please. Please get it up to 20 likes. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share.
Hit the like button.
Come on, hit the like button, people. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chile. Sorry. So Richarlison, I think bring him on. Good move. Question: Tuchel v Conte. Who wins that fight?
Right. Tuchel looks like there's something wrong with him, like he's not well. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's not get it twisted now.
Conte is a bit of a mafia man, so you know.
I'm going to say that he's a made man. Let's not get it twisted now. He's a made man.
I told you, he knows families from the 5 boroughs. Don't worry about it.
Put it like this, yeah.
He's a made man, Bridget.
Put it like this, yeah. Conte is always Chelsea. Let's get that right. Yeah. Let's get that right. Yeah. He gets his loyalties absolute right. Yeah. Tuchel is the one that told him, "Look in my eyes, little man. When you look in my eyes, you understand?"
I don't understand.
Can I ask you a question, Ezra? Can I ask you a question?
He get a red card for?
Sorry, Chile. Can I ask a question? Did Martinez ask Tony to look in his eyes as well? Sorry,
that again.
Sorry, D.
That's out of order. That's out of order.
Sorry,
right? I'm incorrect with that. He told it how it was. So I'm back in my man.
Your case is rested. All
right, go on, Chile.
Back to you, Chile.
Why did Conte get a red card though?
I think it was the reaction. You know what I mean?
But the man is dragging up his hand.
I hear that. But you know how this football thing works. The moment you react, you see, like with the Liverpool thing, which we'll get to, with Nunes. If Anderson had piped up back to him, they're both getting reds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you back up and say, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Then only the one that provoked it gets the
aggressor. Yeah.
But the moment you come back, you know what I mean. And don't get me wrong, Conte, I'll be doing the same.
Conte's not built like that, actually. He's never back.
He's from Italy, man.
He's a man. Trust me, I watch enough of them movies to understand man like Conte.
Hey, but did you see the way? Did you see the way Tuchel?
He said, "I'll just kill him," and you're like, "Is he joking?" Or is he?
Did you see the way? and in people in the chat as well, did you see the way Tuchel changed his tone as well? When he got in the interviews, he's all smiling about it, you know. He quickly remembered, that he could get kidnapped. This is serious.
Man.
And it might not even be him, it'll be his family or something now.
I said he's gonna wake up with one horse's head in the bed. Let him carry on.
I would, as big as I am, I'm not stepping to man like Conte.
No. There's some man. Him and Ancelotti. Ancelotti's another one, you know.
Yeah, Ancelotti, you know.
Definitely.
I think we've lost Norms. Norms' internet.
We've got out on us. Yes.
I think it's a good time to talk about. Time to talk about Liverpool.
Wow, I'll tell you, man. See this guy, Mr. Kofi Klopp, he picks his moments, doesn't he?
He does, isn't it? He decides today he's not going to turn up.
Right.
Today.
Remember, he wanted us to cook him in our WhatsApp group, but I'm like, I ain't saying nothing. I'm waiting for the show. And he don't choke on it. So I'm like, dude. Like I said,
I don't know
if was Googling, literally.
I don't know if Diego's in here today, but Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Listen, Crystal Palace look fantastic, man. Like they should be upset to draw that
against Ez. Do you know what's going on?
Say that again.
Fulham did as well. What's going on with Liverpool?
Yeah, true. Fulham did a number on Liverpool.
Yeah.
If you remember what Kofi was saying a few weeks ago, he was saying that he wasn't happy with the midfield at all, and he felt like they should have strengthened rather than going for more attacking players, and maybe you do the deal for Mane and you get two bad boy midfielders in, but instead, what? I
feel like they've got enough attackers.
84 million.
They're saying, but I think they're talking more of a CM or a DM/CM.
Yeah,
someone.
Because there's only so long you're going to keep playing Milner before you got to look at that and say, come on, man. If they want to keep up with City, they've got to. And to be fair to Kofi, he said this, that they need to strengthen the midfield. And I don't see it before the window. I don't really see it. I'm not sure who's out there that. I mean, I'm not saying Liverpool will struggle to get players because it's Liverpool. They'll get their players.
No, yeah, you're right. It's just what players.
And at what cost? And that's why a lot of people put the 84 million on Darwin, because it was like, wow, do we need him? But then it was like, because this is how I see it: pay Mane the money and save you 84 million. But
this is what I was trying to say to Kofi.
Yeah.
You had to give Mane his flowers, because now you're seeing. You see these dodgy ones, Fulham and Crystal Palace, they would edge it. You know what I mean? Even if it's by 1 goal, they would edge it before.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Last season, Liverpool fans complained about drawn games cost them the league, and they've drawn their first 2 already.
Yep.
So you've gone back to type of like drawing games where they're the games you should be winning.
Yeah.
And both of those they should have won. The 2 games
I think those are big games. They're big games. Big games.
And the whole grass is dry and long and square and sidewind. No one's buying that now.
Stop it.
You know?
the grass is dry, you know.
That's what the man said. It's too dry. Like they set him up. It's too long, it's too windy, it's too cold, it's too hot. Now they were having drink breaks.
The ball's too round.
5 minutes, was it, or 20 minutes to get a drink break, which is cool. I'm all for that. You don't want them man collapsing out on the pitch. That would be a madness.
Yeah, they have it halfway through the half, innit? So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but
then that's putting extra time on, because if you see at the end of the first half now, whereas it's normally a minute, it's now 3 minutes. It's the average.
Yeah. And then
what's this?
Oh, this is good. This is good. No, take it there, Norms. Take it.
Not yet. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry, apologies. My internet just crashed out. And I was talking. I missed all of it. So sorry, I missed
the blog on, you know.
Yeah, no, I missed all of that, and I'm missing all these chats in here that's just coming to the thingy.
Yeah.
So sorry, what was the last conversation before I ended up?
We kind of moved on to Liverpool a little bit with the
right.
With the we didn't really talk about Nunes, but
just quickly 2-2 Darwin Noodles. What we got to say about that? What
the 2-2 or 1-1?
It was 2-1, wasn't it? Or was it 1-1?
I think it was 1-1.
Who's 1-1?
1-1.
Sorry, 1-1. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Fulham.
The Fulham,
I'm thinking about the Fulham game. Yeah,
They should have
1-1.
won that as well.
Yeah.
Who
Listen,
Fulham should have?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
Crystal Palace should have beaten Liverpool. That wonder goal from
right
Diaz,
at
that
the
should
end.
never happen.
Yeah. Right
I mean,
at the end, what's his name should have scored? Will.
It's a bit of a madness. It's a bit of a madness with Liverpool right now. Listen, some people are saying that that's the league over for them. Dropping
That's
points
crazy
again.
talk. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's absolutely. Yeah, listen, I'm not. It's just yeah.
You know that already in it. Just how the league will be. City will come and stop at some point and draw some games, even though I say lose a game that you expect them to have won. They're going to be leaning on the Blanchard. If you're being honest, they have brought in that hitman for the Champions League because Pep will always be considered not quite there if we don't win it.
I'm just loving everything. I'm just loving the chat.
Yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the comments.
We're not laughing at you, D. We're laughing at what's coming in the chat.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, carry on, D. Carry on. Carry on what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Big up,
I
there you go.
think as much as another league is cool for them, I think Champions League, I think Pep really wants a holy grail now for the City side. I think he's spent enough money since he's been there. He's had the squads to do it and not quite got over the hill. So he needs to get over the hill with this one. So I think bringing in Haaland is a bit of a Champions League statement. So,
yeah. What, they really did miss Mane in that game again. I'll say it again.
That's what we were saying.
They do miss Mane. And I think he scored again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Nunes don't do that, do they win the game?
It's interesting, guys. I mean, put it in the chat. Do you think?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because the way they played with 10 men, you didn't realise they lost a man.
I was going to say that. I feel like they went for it more.
Yeah.
They went for it more with 10 men. I saw Trent Alexander pressing everything.
I kept watching for the match saying, you've lost a man. So where's the gaps? Why aren't you penetrating more? It's almost like they were inviting them on. I'm thinking, what are they doing?
What happened is they stayed high. They stayed very high, so they couldn't play.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick has got them playing really well, and they always seem to do it. Because I was watching the game and I was thinking, that is a guy. Listen, if his end product was on point, I see that man take on them players, and just had to look up and play that right ball. Listen, Zaha's not a number 9, and I think they do need a number 9 as well. Palace do definitely need a number 9, but what they did well was they played with that low block and. You know what I mean? They didn't force it. And I think Liverpool, to some extent, was forcing the play. And that's why a lot of times they were giving the ball away. They were playing long balls and stuff like that. But listen, big up to Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? I'll probably say 1-1 or a draw is a fair result.
Yeah.
I would say it's a fair result. The goal by Diaz. What a goal. What a goal.
Yeah,
what
great goal.
Absolutely brilliant.
But how much would you pay for him, D?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take him now, bro. Take him now because
someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone on the TV was saying that Chelsea should go for Zaha.
100%.
There's talk. There was talk. I mean,
you agree with that, yeah?
100%. Maybe even a few years late, to be honest. Should have gone for him. You see, I think we should have gone for Zaha when Hazard left.
Yeah. I mean, we've been linked with Zaha. I mean, Unai Emery wanted Zaha instead of Pepe.
My gosh, that's a big wrong decision to get Pepe.
And that's what's happened now. You know what I mean?
70 million.
72, mate, to be precise. He's looking like he could be going on loan to Nice. So,
but he doesn't care, does he?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But if he does go, we're going to need to get another backup, wide, winger, attacking.
How much are you paying him, Norms?
What Zaha's? How much is
Pepe getting?
Pepe. I think Pepe's on about. I'm sure it's something like 100 and something. Is it 110, something like that?
No, it must be good money.
That's not bad though. 110, that's cheap price.
I know, but listen,
140. Yeah,
bro. Listen, pay back.
Yeah, that's why I don't care.
That's why I don't care.
Ndombele's on 200 with us.
Oh wow, how do you do that? Because I'm sure Kane just got that amount.
What is happening
and
with
his
him?
contract's for another like 2 seasons, I think, after this one.
What is happening with that at the moment?
Hold on
the
a minute.
situation within Ndombele.
Napoli want to loan him, innit? It looks like he's going to go there.
So
Are they going to pay all the? Yeah, go on.
Kane is on 200 a week, and
Yeah.
Ndombele is on the same,
Yeah,
and Son is on 192. He's on more money than Son.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
He's one of he's the 2 top earners are him and Thing, and I think Lloris might be as well now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
No,
mad.
Lloris is only on 100.
There you go then.
Yeah.
Hey, Tottenham's wage bill is actually tidy. I like it. It's good.
Yeah,
But
you're
that's
right,
why
Craig.
they get the big
Apart
name
from-
players as because they're not going to come for that money.
Yeah. It's only Ndombele you got it wrong with. Everyone looks
Yeah, well, yeah.
about right.
I'm going to agree with Craig here. Normski gone missing like what Odegaard does in big games. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow.
Especially away games, mate. Yeah, listen.
Let him off. I think he's
Yeah, he still. He needs to add more to his game. He
but
definitely needs to add
he's
more
got
to
no
his game.
competition.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Listen, we got that Vieira guy coming in now. He looks like he's back in training. And
Hey,
everything.
can I
So we'll
ask
see.
you a question? Do
Yeah.
you feel like he's captain material?
Nope. I don't think he is.
It's a bit
I
random,
mean, listen,
innit?
he captains Norway, but I personally don't think he's captain.
I think you might have missed D's point when D was talking about how Pep does it, where he lets the players vote who should
Yeah.
be the captain.
Yeah.
I kind of think
Yeah.
that's.
I mean,
when you're
Arteta gave the
struggling
impression.
for-
Yeah,
when you're
Arteta
struggling
gave the
for a clear
impression.
captain.
Arteta
What?
gave the impression that the rest of the team really think that he's captain material and they like him. They like the way he performs on the field and off the field. But for me,
Performs.
I personally think it's Arteta that's chosen this guy. Yeah. And I'm hearing that Granit Xhaka has got the vice captaincy, even though he says that he doesn't need to wear a captain's armband. You know, in the documentary he says, I don't need a captain's armband to prove that I'm a captain. I don't want you in the club, mate. So, you know what I mean? Listen, you had a good game on Saturday. I ain't going to lie. But you're not, I would not want you to be my starting midfielder. I want somebody that's going to be better than him. But listen, he's playing well. I'm not going to lie. He's playing well. But he's not the one that's going to, take us to titles or anything like that.
One of the best clear captains in the Premier League is Jordan Henderson. I think, during COVID, when there was no crowd and you couldn't hear, and you could just hear the ball being kicked about and the raw football, you could hear Jordan Henderson and barking, literally echoing and bellowing. What are you doing, Trent? What kind of pass is that? You're better than that. Give me the ball quickly. Let's do it faster. Everybody up. You could hear it, and it was demanding what Klopp can't do on the sideline. He was demanding it on the field. And I don't see that in Odegaard. In fact, I don't really see it in quite a few of these captains these days.
Well, listen, when funny enough,
speaking of captains, what do you think of Mings getting Gerrard taking it off Mings?
Silly, because Mings come in the team and then got them a win. You know what I mean? We were talking about it last week, weren't we?
Yeah, it kind of made no sense. Apparently, they got into it big time. So the whole respect was lost. But then he benched him and they picked him the following week. So what was that about? So if you're going to bench him and done, innit? Leave him on the bench. If you feel like he was disrespectful enough for you to take the captain's armband off him, why pick him the next week to start?
Well, if it was that bad and you've had to take the captain's armband, surely it's a question of, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it makes Gerrard look weak playing him the next week after making a big deal about the captain's armband and benching him.
If anything, you should have left him as captain. In fact, no. Just because you argue with me, don't make me be impulsive. You know what I mean? If you're the right man to lead this team on the pitch, you're the right man to lead this pitch. If me and you argue. But as a man, I can also reconcile. You know what I mean? And if it is that bad and we can't reconcile, surely, one of us can't be here. It's either you or me. And if I'm in charge, and as long as I'm not getting sacked, surely it's you. So, I don't know. That's a strange one.
Yeah. No, I mean, but as I say, just with that Crystal Palace Liverpool game, good result for Patrick Vieira. Tactically, now in terms of how he sets up his team, and not many teams are going to go to Anfield and get a result like that. And they could have, if they had taken their chances. There was a couple of chances Zaha had. Do you know what I mean? Where they're hitting on the break. If they're just taking their chances, I felt I think it was Phillips, Nat Phillips he was struggling. He was struggling against
He started well.
He started well, but then after, and I think in the end, I think he took him off, didn't he? I think he took him off in the end.
Yeah, for Gomez.
Yeah, he took him off in the end. But yeah. But let me just quickly just go back because I know Chile's going to be moving in a minute. So what I want to do, yeah. So listen quickly. We didn't get to discuss all the games, but just to say the Arsenal game against Leicester with Tielemans, our target man, he didn't really kind of.
No one really wants to talk about that game. Boring game.
Stop the noise, boy. 4-2. What the 2 goals by Gabriel Jesus could have got that trick.
2 assists.
2 assists.
You should have captained him in your FPL, but I bet none of you did.
I did.
You captained him. You captained him.
Vice captain.
Oh, yeah, that's not captain. You have a captain.
I had Haaland and he didn't score.
Yeah.
Oh, so did I. And what did he get us? 10 points?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. Leicester, Calvin saying Leicester in trouble. Listen, if they lose their players, Fofana, Tielemans, Maddison, they could be in very big trouble. But very good game.
Everton, they're Chelsea
we
trying to be up Everton, didn't they, and take away Anthony Gordon.
That's right, Anthony Gordon. Yeah,
but he don't rip up tree trunks for them, does he? He doesn't. It ain't going to be a big loss.
Yeah. But listen, Arsenal coming out
might be.
Arsenal coming out 4-2 winners. And just to quickly, if I was to score my team, obviously player ratings, I'd give the back 4. Ben White. I'll give Ben White I'll give him a 6. Saliba, unfortunate own goal. I'm going to give him a 7. But still played well. Gabriel Magalhaes, I'll give him a 7. What's his name? What's the other left back that's playing there? Zinchenko. I'll also give a 7. If I talk about the weakest, I'd say Odegaard and Thomas Partey for me were the weakest. I'll probably give them both a 5 in that game. Gabriel Jesus, I'm going to make him. It's a close call between Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli, but I'm going to give Gabriel Jesus a 9 out of 10. Martinelli an 8. Saka was kind of in and out of the game. I'm going to give him a 6. Who else in the midfield? Granit Xhaka. I'm going to give Granit Xhaka an 8. I thought he played really well. I'm going to he scored a goal as well. I'm going to give him an 8. I think that's all the players. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and manager. I'm going to give the manager an 8. So,
what did you give Saliba?
I gave Saliba a 7.
A 7.
Even though he scored an own goal.
He scored an own goal. The man got his
but
minus
listen,
on
other than that,
FPL.
listen. I'm giving him a 7 because other than that was the
got
only time he
minus
put
on the FPL. You can't give him a 7.
Listen, that's my player ratings, bro. Yeah.
Right,
And quickly, okay. So listen, quickly. These got to go.
So I do one before I did.
Hey.
So I do my player before I did.
Yeah. Do your player. Yeah. Do your player ratings.
All right. So I'm giving the guy a 1. Delot a 3. Wyatt a 2. Martinez a 5. Luke Shaw a 2. McTominay a 4. Fred a 5. Bruno a 2. Ericsson a 5. Rashford a 2. Jaden a 4. Ronaldo a 2. I'm giving the manager a T rating of 2. Because even though we conceded no goals in the second half, Brentford didn't need to score any goals in the second half. They did all their work in the first, and Digard needs to get dropped.
35 minutes.
Yeah, he needs to get dropped because them first 2 goals are on him.
Yeah,
it's on him. And to be fair, he came out in the press conference and he as much as said it that the first 2 are on me, so don't go after the defenders on that. Like I switched off. And you know what? I respect him for coming, but I still want him dropped. I respect him for coming out to the press conference, but he needs to sit. And Tom Eaton's there. See what Tom's got, because if we're gonna intend on keep playing out from the back, me and Leon were talking about on the chat, Norman, in the week. That it's like we just look nervous every time we try and do it. So stop doing it.
Yeah.
And with that, gents, I'm going to sign off.
Okay, so just quickly, D, before you go, can I get you to just pick your this is the prediction of the what's going on prediction table. Can I just get you to pick a team this weekend? Chile, sorry, not Chile. Ez has already picked his team, so I'll let you know he's picked. He's gonna just say what it is. If you can just tell you who the team is that you're gonna be the game that you're gonna be picking.
Palace at home to Villa, 2-1 Palace.
Palace at home, 2-1 Palace. Yeah.
Home to Villa.
All right, 2-1 Palace. Ez, what you saying? Your game quickly.
Chelsea leads 3-1 Chelsea.
Chile.
I'm saying 2-1 Man U.
All right, so Man U
are going to beat Liverpool.
Man U 2-1. All right, so what I'll ask you to do, guys, if you can post your Ez has already posted his one in our chat. Ez no, you've already posted it as well.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah.
And Chile, if you could just post yours in not this chat, in our podcast WhatsApp chat. I think he went 2-1, didn't he? Everton. I think Kofi went 2-1 Everton against. Just quickly.
He's got faith.
I'm sure he said 2-1.
Listen, I got to run, but I'm going to do my ratings before I go.
Yeah, do your ratings. And whilst you're doing your ratings, whilst you're doing your ratings, I'm just going to get up the table whilst you're doing that. So do your ratings.
Another easy week. Everyone gets a 5, apart from Romero, Kane, and Højbjerg. They get a 6.5.
Right.
And the manager gets a 6. He should have headbutted Tuchel.
Right. As you can see there, you can see the prediction, what's going on prediction table. At the top of the table is Big D, because if you look carefully, it's games played. We all played one game, predicted one score. So it's the correct score and outcome. So D predicted in that last game, which was Aston Villa v Everton 2-1. That's why he's got 3 points. Kofi predicted 3-2 to Arsenal against Leicester, but we won that 4-2, so he gets the outcome right. So he gets 1 point. Myself, and Ez, we didn't get anything right. So as you can look at the form table, you can see that D's there with a green, with a win. Kofi there with the outcome. We class it as a draw because you get 1 point for it. So at the moment, right. Big D tops the table with 3 points as the Man United fan. Unfortunately, his team, if you look at the mirror image, his team is sitting bottom of the league right now. But listen,
don't worry, D. Arsenal were there this time last season. You're not.
Yeah, that's the way to see it. That's the way to see it.
So next week, and I'm going to predict the Bournemouth game. We're away to Bournemouth. I'm predicting 3-1 win to Arsenal. 3-1 win to Arsenal against Bournemouth. Okay. So, Chile, if you put your predicted score in the podcast WhatsApp thing, that'd be great. So I can do that. But So listen, I know D and Chile have got to run.
Wait, D, quickly. Breaking news: Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to buy a stake in Man United. Official. Fabrizio Romano.
So these guys are willing to spend just to allow someone to buy a minority share of the shares. It's not a buyout. Yeah. So
what's the minority? 49%.
Nah, it'd be less than that. Actually, I reckon 25 to 30%. I think.
No, they're just looking to get more money in, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's farcical. Just sell the club. Green and gold.
Yeah.
By the way, my green top is
no. Actually, no. It said if the club is for sale, then I'm a potential buyer. So I think he's looking for more than just a stake.
Okay. The problem is that Glazer's going to sell. That's the problem.
Well, the pressure that they're going to be under, if Man United don't fix up, they're going to be under some real pressure.
Yeah. The fact that Fabrizio is talking about it.
Blessings, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Take it easy. See you next week. Thank you very much. I think me and Ez closing out the show.
Yeah, I've got to go too. Big up.
Easy, Chili.
See you later, man. Take care.
We'll be closing out the show. So just quickly, just going back. So we've tackled about Ten Hag walking away. These thinks he should stay. And listen, at the end of the day, he's got to stay. Give them any sort of chance. Hopefully, the board and the players on the pitch will back him. Let's see. Calv just saying good laughs there. We'll just quickly go for Jack. The Glazers selling their minority shares will look to cash in.
Of course.
Yep. Glazers ain't selling, according to Calvin. Philip is saying great show.
Bless Philip.
Big up to Root Cause is saying big up to sentiments there. Will the United game go ahead? Will the United game go ahead? Diego just saying a big thank you to D and Chile. Yeah, so I was just said Ten Hag. I think he needs. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one.
Surely 4-0 ain't acceptable. 4-0 at Brentford. They just came up last season. You know, that's not acceptable. And but how do you get a tune out of these players? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
you know, Man United fans probably are tired of talking about it because they've had Ollie, they've had Ralph, they've got this guy in now that's meant to be the answer to their prayers.
Yeah,
and he's struggling at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm just looking on. I'm just going back to. Let's see. Here it is. Just looking at some of the transfers. Listen, I mean, at the moment, I mean, in terms of our transfers, Arsenal, listen, Talisman thing still up in the air.
What's going on with it?
I don't know. I mean, it just seems as if we're just kind of looking at other targets. And I just don't know. I just wonder whether he's going to be want to sort of be hanging about. I know Man United, if they miss out on De Jong, I know they linked with other midfielders, but I think he would be an easy one to get over the line. Do you know what I mean?
And who drops out your midfield?
Well, this is the thing, because they're saying that Granit Xhaka wouldn't probably get dropped for now. Do you know what I mean?
What about Nene?
Well, El Nene, he's a backup. He's like probably like third choice. Well, I'll say no. He would be. You've got Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, El Nene, which is third choice, and Lokonga.
I don't really rate Lokonga at the moment.
No, I think he should go on loan.
Yeah,
but if you get in Talisman, it's one of those things. Granit Xhaka. Some people are saying that Granit Xhaka would have to leave the club.
No, I don't think so.
Which I don't think is going to happen. He seems to be doing. I think what's happened is that Arteta now has pushed him into a more advanced role. Because if you look now, he's arriving in the box a lot later.
That's where he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's when he scored as well. So he looks like he's changed up his position. He seems to be thriving in that position. The only thing for me, again, is just his mobility.
Yeah.
You know, there's times when I'm watching and the ball's played to him and he just can't get to it quick enough. Whereas I think Talisman is obviously much younger, got more mobility, a bit more creative. You know, but I think a lot of people are asking for another backup, a proper CDM. I think that's what we need, a proper CDM to sort of come in and back up Thomas Partey.
But who's out there? I mean,
who's out? That's the big question.
I feel like I look at transfers a good part of my day. Anytime I get a break at work, I'm looking at what's going on but I just don't see the quality of player out there unless you get an unknown and give it a chance. Oh, don't forget you got Vieira as well, ain't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's what I'm to say. Vieira can play in that kind of 10 or possibly a number 8 role. So we have to see what happens. Yeah, he's back to fitness. I think he played today in an under-21 game. I think it was today he played in an under-21 game. Him and who was the other? There's Smith Rowe played in an under-21 game. If it wasn't today, tomorrow. So they reckon that he will be ready for Saturday. Whether he will start is another thing. I think he'll be on the bench, but he's another option. I just think with Odegaard just needs to put his foot more in the game. He needs to stamp his authority a bit more because sometimes he can go missing.
Yeah.
And I think someone like Gabriel Jesus, he kind of creates his own chances. He will go and pick that ball up. I like that, but at the same time, when somebody should be in the box, he's out there doing what he needs to do.
True.
And there's one.
You have to keep him fit, Norms.
That's the big thing. And I think that game, there was one point when he picked up the ball outside the box, didn't pass about 2 or 3 players, and he hit the ball across. But there was no one there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need somebody that's going to be running on late. Do you know what I mean? Or the other attacking midfielders have got to be more aware and be in the box. Do you know what I mean? If he's out there creating, then get in the box for that final finish. Because listen, he's a tricky player when he's in that box. He's got quick feet. So listen, they need to, they need to get that sorted out. But I think for us, probably if we get 2 more players, who it will be, I don't know, because I said we linked with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So I think transfer the deadline day is going to be interesting. I think that week, that's where I think you're going to see a lot of business and you're going to see a lot of movement going on. I think
guys in the chat, if you're still there, is there any club or player that has surprised you in these first 2 games? I think for me, the moment the team that surprised me is Fulham.
Yeah.
They're playing football. It's not even like they're just scraping through games. I think they're coming out to play. They played well against Wolves. They should have won it. They had the penalty.
Yeah, I know. He missed the penalty, didn't he?
They messed up my my Premier League fantasy. Oh man, Mitrovic, man.
yeah. But listen, look. I had Fulham to go down, and I still think they will.
You say, can they keep it? Can they keep it up?
That's the problem. Can they keep it up? But listen, they got a half decent manager. They got to keep your main man fit as well. But I just think when push comes to shove, Fulham, they always seem to, falter. I mean, Nottingham Forest, good game as well.
I think they scraped through, but I don't think they can keep it up. But they've made so many signings that it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think they made 14 signings now.
And then they signed someone straight after the match. What's his name? Dennis from
that's right. From Watford. Yeah, and they ended up beating West Ham. Rice missing. Rice. I know it's not good.
It weren't good.
It wasn't very good, was it? No.
Hey, listen,
a couple of TVs broken. Yeah,
it was a bad day. It's a bad day. I'm going to stop watching matches there. I think.
No, well, I spoke to him. I spoke to him earlier on in the week, and he said we cannot go to Nottingham Forest and lose that game.
No, simple as, straight up.
Simple as.
Yeah.
But listen, they got a raucous crowd. And listen, no game in the Premier League is going to be easy. No game. And you can't. Listen, we got Bournemouth on Saturday. I predicted a 3-1 win. I think we will do it. It's a tight ground. And to be honest, in the past, our record is not brilliant. But I just think with the wave that we're on, the crest of the wave that we're on, and the way the team is playing, the way Gabriel Jesus is playing, I just think that we'll go there and get a decent result. I mean, what we don't want to do is go there and just be overconfident. Do you know what I mean? We've got to go there. Man City do it. Liverpool, go there and be ruthless, get it sorted out, and just deal with business. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, it depends how Scott Parker sets up as well. I think because he likes to press a lot. But if you can beat that press like City did last week, my gosh, they're bleeding goals.
I mean, I haven't watched Bournemouth much, so I mean, even when they were playing, I don't know if you've been watching them like in the Championship. I watched them. What are they like?
Scott Parker's got them set up just like he had Fulham set up. Right. So I think he's got them set up good enough to get up from the Championship.
Yeah.
But whether they could do it in the Premier League is another thing. I personally think they go back down. Scott Parker just doesn't have the Premier League pedigree. I think he got lucky last week. I just don't think he can do it up here. I don't think so. He got lucky against Aston Villa. Aston Villa were naive. I'm still worried about Everton. Just moving on, I'm worried about them. Everton could go down. They haven't got the reinforcements. They haven't got the manager that knows how to get through those ugly games. So at the moment, my prediction is Bournemouth and Everton at the moment to go down at the moment, just based on performances.
Just quickly in the chat, Philip Edley said that United protests will be bigger than ever, and they know they will get worldwide coverage. Now, this weekend, or should I say Monday coming, next Monday coming, obviously Man United are going to be at home at Old Trafford against Liverpool. They need to win that game. I know there's talk of them walking out on the 17th minute, but listen, they need to do it. Regardless of whether they're winning or not, they need to do it. Listen, it's been 100 and odd years, I think 105, maybe 10 years since Man United have lost 2 games on the bounce. And as
didn't know that.
As Diego is saying, I can't remember Manchester United ever losing their first 3 games of the season. Not sure it's ever happened before, and I don't think it has. So listen.
And this is what I was trying to say to D, that I'm not saying Ollie was the answer, but you only sack Ollie if you do have the answer. Because Ollie, although he weren't doing amazing, he managed to get his team to finish second and third. Second and third. Third was his worst finish.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there you go. Just on this statement here. No, I if we listen, the man is on a crest of a wave, and I get it. It's 3 games in. I think what they've been doing, they've been managing him well, because the last game, Saturday was boiling hot. You know what I mean? It was hot conditions. I think they were playing in like 34, 35 degree, hence the water breaks and stuff like that. No, I'm not resting Gabriel Jesus for this game. I think what needs to happen is he gets on, scores a couple of goals, and then you bring on the likes of Eddie and Smith Rowe. Get comfortable, and then bring these guys and manage him well. Obviously, you don't want to run him into the ground. Listen, where we've had players, I mean, Pepe hardly plays. So what's happened? He's ended up running for 2-3 seasons, running Saka into the ground. Yeah, he goes to a World Cup, he comes back, he's literally got no legs. Do you know what I mean? So
and you're in Europe this year,
and we're in Europe as well. So we need to rotate, manage it well. Do you know what I mean? And that's why it's important about squad depth. Maybe going out and getting that other attacking right-sided midfield player. We need to get
enough Hudson-Odoi if you want.
Well, this is what we're hearing. Like, listen, that man. How many times that guy scored what in the Premier League? I think you said a stat. What was it again?
There, Norms. I'm not going there.
We haven't had no Hudson-Odoi here, man. He can go to Bayern, one of them German clubs. I know he was linked with Bayern Munich at one point, but no, not having that. Not having that, mate. We need somebody of quality, somebody that can come in, score goals, and when that player gets taken off and he comes on, you ain't noticing the difference. Just like Man City. Yeah. You ain't noticing the difference. Quality for quality. And that's what we need to be doing. So hopefully, I'm looking at 2 more signings, and I'm praying and hoping that does happen. Another thing here. The reason I asked, because Arteta seems to overplay it. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Diego,
but that's been towards lack of depth.
Yeah. It's lack of depth. It's exactly that. And that's why Man City do that well. That's why their team is the way they are, because, and I suppose in one sense, you know, he has got to manage a squad of 22, 25 players. Yeah. And he does like to rotate a lot, whereas Arteta doesn't. And really, Arteta should know this, because he's played or managed alongside with Pep, albeit being his assistant. He should know this, you know what I mean? But as you rightly said, it's about depth. If we got the depth of players, because he doesn't trust Pepe. He doesn't trust Pepe to come on and do a job. That's why he's not playing him. Yeah. I think if when this Fabio Vieira guy comes in, we'll see how he performs. Obviously, it'd be interesting to see how he performed, if it's tonight or tomorrow. I know he's playing in the under-21s. It'd be interesting to know how he's got on and see how he is. So I just want to see how this guy plays. You know what I mean? But we definitely, as I say, we definitely need to be getting in another. Yeah, Saka will get burned out under this manager, and that is fact. That is fact. You know what I mean?
Good point,
so definitely a good point there. Just quickly, obviously, we talked about Wolves and Fulham 0-0. Fulham again. What's the name? Missing a penalty. Missing a penalty. Wolves have obviously just signed a new player. I think it's Is it Nunes or something?
Yeah,
from Benfica,
from Portugal.
Is it Benfica?
Oh,
is it Benfica?
I think even Sporting.
Was it Sporting? It's one of them clubs.
I think it's
45 mil plus whatever add-ons. Good player. But then I suppose the question is, because Neto and Neves, they've been linked, with other clubs like us, Man United. I know Man United definitely need to be bringing in probably one of them players. So that will be interesting with Wolves, and another Portuguese player added to their books under Bruno Lage.
They're playing with that, are they? They're not playing about with the Portuguese.
No, they're not.
Portuguese manager.
Yep, that Portuguese thing. Southampton 2, Leeds 2. Southampton coming from behind again. Walker Peter, I think, got the equaliser. Kyle Walker Peter got the equaliser. But again, Southampton, they are really walking a tightrope. Do you know what I mean?
They're on the survival antics, but I think they will survive. That's the thing. They're seasoned enough to survive.
I know Chile had Leeds, and I think in his prediction of part of the 3 to go down. But look, to go away to Southampton to be 2-0 up, do you know what I mean? He must be kicking himself. But listen, they end up with that game being 2-2. Obviously, we've talked about Arsenal, Leicester, Brighton, Newcastle. That game, I didn't watch the game. I think Chile had Newcastle winning that game 2-1.
Yes,
it ended up as a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, that was a bit of a downer, that game.
Yeah, a bit of a downer.
Brighton were all over them.
Yeah.
All over them. You know, they had all the ball. They had, like, for example, Newcastle only had 1 shot on target, Norms.
Wow.
You know, Brighton had 7 shots on target, but they just couldn't finish.
Just can't finish. And I think that's the story of Brighton, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they definitely finished against Man United, but it is what it is. And then
he ain't here to defend himself.
He's not here to defend himself. Well, just quickly, Brentford 4.
Oh.
Man United 0.
Outplayed, man.
Outplayed. Outworked.
Everything.
They didn't have a clue. 35 minutes in, they're 4-0. It could have been 7-0.
But for them to not even put a glove on them, you know, they didn't lay a glove. One back.
Didn't lay a glove. Did not lay a glove. Absolutely embarrassing. And that's why I put as part of our discussion tonight, should Ten Hag just walk away from this? Because mate, I just, as Dee said, it's got to get worse before it gets better. But how much more can Man United fans take this? Because
the thing is, why he can't walk, he has to just get to work because he's left.
I get it, but he's not. But the problem is, Dee. I understand. Big D's in the chat, so it's about it. Big D's in the chat. So Alex Ferguson lost his first 2 games in 1992, I believe. Okay. So
yeah, still a long time ago.
Yeah, still a long time ago. Still a long time ago. But yeah,
he's got to get on with it. He's got to get on with it because
the problem is that the board is not backing him, and the players are not doing it for him on the field of play. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think the board care. I don't think they care. You know, they will care about the money side of it, but they don't care enough to take a general interest. You know, but he has to get to where he's left Ajax. Ajax are in the Champions League, Noobs. He gets out the group stages every year, you know, and he's come to Man United. To walk away now, he's walked away from Ajax for nothing. Yeah, you know, he needs to just try and get this team at least solid. Yeah, you know, get them into a defensive unit, play on the counter or something. He's got the speed, fast players for it. Yeah. But yeah, it is a mess. I mean, for now, I'm happy to laugh at him, but you know.
Well, listen, they're noisy neighbours coming out 4-0 winners against Bournemouth,
and Haaland didn't even score. You know,
and Haaland did not even score. You know, funny enough, there was a stat. I don't know if there was a crazy stat that I think he only had. I might be wrong, guys, but there was a crazy stat that he had something like 7 or 8 touches.
I wouldn't be too surprised
in that game.
He doesn't really do all of that for City.
He doesn't.
We were talking about this last year.
I might be hearing things, but I might be wrong, guys. I might be, you know what I mean? But if I am, please put it in the chat. But I'm sure I heard something like that he didn't have really much of the ball in that game.
There you go. 8 touches. Just found it. 8 touches.
There you go. 8 touches. So I was right then. I was hearing right. 8 touches. But yeah, you know, you got
one of them touches was an assist. So
right. Yeah. I think Jefferson Lerma, I think there was an own goal. There was an own goal, I think, in that game.
Yeah, there was.
And I think De Bruyne got 1, Gundogan got 1, and Foden got the other. Pretty much a walk in the park there.
Yeah, another day in the office.
2 games played. Was it 6 goals scored?
Yeah.
None conceded.
Brilliant.
Is there a possibility? That Man City will go on and win this league? Jay did put in the chat earlier on that Liverpool last season drew 4 games and lost to Man City by 1 point. Well, you're halfway there, Jay, because you've drawn 2 games, 2 more to draw, and then maybe you never know.
That's the thing.
We'll have to wait and see that. But when I look at Liverpool, and you know, my missus was pulling her hair out. She was not best pleased. But Mane was the big factor. We were speaking about it in the game, that Mane was the big factor in that game. I think Mane plays in that game. Mane scores in that game.
Yeah.
Because they were just finding it hard to break down Crystal Palace. They were just finding it really difficult to break down Crystal Palace. And as I said, you know, the only target that Darwin Noodles hit was Anderson's bottom of his jawline. You know what I mean?
Welcome to the Premier League.
Welcome to the Premier League, Noodles.
Welcome.
Noodles. Yeah. Welcome to the Premier League. But yeah, Man United, boy, it's going to be a long season. I'll tell you now. I think Chile said 2-1, didn't he, in his prediction for
he did.
That'd be interesting. But do you know what? I can only see a Liverpool win. I'm not gonna lie. I can only see a Liverpool,
even without Nunes,
win.
I think they might even look better without him. At least. Yeah.
And we've already covered the Nottingham Forest game. Obviously, it wasn't a pleasant household when he was that day, and obviously the Chelsea Tottenham game, hair pulling saga.
I've never seen such bad refereeing in my.
The refereeing was terrible.
You know,
and Mike Dean has been taken off VAR duties, by the way. Just to let you know, Mike Dean has been taken off VAR duties as well.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. That's no coincidence, is it?
No. And I think you mentioned that in our chat as well. Yeah, about Mike Dean. Yeah, but Chile won't have none of it.
No. Chile, I don't expect anything more from Chile. I don't expect anything. Chile should be celebrating because that's the most he's gonna get from us. You understand? That's the most.
Says, now you two get brave after Big D is left. Yeah, of course we're gonna get brave, bro.
Hey, listen, D's still here. D knows what it is.
He's listening in. Listen, we ain't gonna do you too bad, D. But listen, they need to get their act together. They need to get their act together big time, and they need players in ASAP.
We'll put it like this. Everyone in the chat, I genuinely respect United. Look, someone's even saying it right now. Man United is still a worldwide brand. And I see Man United as one of the, up there with Arsenal and Liverpool, biggest clubs in English history. Nottingham Forest, all of that, all respect to them as well from history. History-wise, Leeds as well. However, I personally find it hard to watch them going down this bad. Yeah. This bad. It's actually hard to watch.
It's hard to watch. It's banter now. It's gone beyond banter, and I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, of course.
I'll go back to. I can't remember what season it was under Brendan Rodgers when it was a season when Liverpool had a terrible season. When do you remember the beach ball scoring a goal for them against Sunderland? right. And I remember. I can't remember who the guy was. The ex Liverpool player was literally crying. I think he was crying on the radio.
No way.
That's how bad it was. Do you know what I mean? And mate, you're listening to ex-Man United players, Gary Neville, talking about how they just look like under nines. He's obviously having a go at the actual Glaziers. Where are they? You know what I mean? With this mess that's going, and nobody's coming and fronting up. Do you know what I mean? And Ten Hag's having to come out and explain this and explain that. Where are the people? Do you know what I mean? They need to come out and back the manager. The players need to shut up, get on, do what they need to do, stop moaning, and have an IQ for football, man, because you guys are getting paid monies and you can't go out and execute that. It's quite embarrassing. And I'll tell you now, if it's not sorted out, listen, they said, I think it was, I can't remember who the pundit was saying that if they end up losing Cristiano Ronaldo, they could end up seeing Man United finishing in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, serious. Because Martial's
what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's talk that he might be trying to get him ready for the game on Monday, but to bring him in that intensity of a game, he could break down the game. Do you know what I mean? Look how long his man's been out. So that will be interesting. Diaz did score a world-class goal. I'll give that to him now. It was absolutely fantastic.
Banger. Great goal.
Banger. What a banger. Whoever, if they do get sucked into relegation, I don't think Man United players have it in them to scrap wins.
No, they ain't got it.
100%.
They have not got it.
They haven't got it. Do you know what I mean? That couldn't happen. What's this one? Agreed. It's not great that Man United are poor these days. It was us versus them, and they carried the Prem for a decade. And it was. And it's a shame. I mean, listen, I would say that Arsenal are slowly starting to climb the curve. It's a slow progress because, listen, one thing about Arsenal, you get happy, we go on a 5-10 game run, and then we capitulate. I want to see the mindset of these players change. Obviously, they've got the likes of Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, who are born winners You know, listen, they've won 4 Premier Leagues, they've won Carabao Cups, you name it. So them coming into the side, hopefully they will bring that winning mentality. And listen, what I'm seeing, I think Ian earlier on in the chat, and I'm going back further in the chat, he was saying, Norman, are you going to trust the process? You know, this buzzword. Listen, are you trusting Arteta and the process? Right now, for me, the jury is still out on Arteta. Until this guy wins something of notability, getting us back into the top 4 and challenging, because you don't know what you're going to get with Arsenal. But yes, he's building a squad, but we still need more. You know, we need to build a squad like Man City where you've got, when I say quality players in each position. We ain't gonna get the world-class players like Man City or Liverpool, because listen, these guys are winning the likes of the Premier League, Champions League, and so on and so on. So it's going to take time. But I've always said this. Yeah, if I end up passing passing my driving test in a Robin Reliant, I don't expect somebody to go and give me a key to go and drive an 18-wheeler truck. Yeah, and that's for me where I'm at with Arteta. You know, it's a massive club, and you're using this club to see. Listen, it's good. It's going to be sitting nicely on his thing when it comes to him going for other jobs. Do you know what I mean? His CV. But Arsenal is not a club to be experimenting with. In my case, I just can't have it. I just can't have it, mate. So listen, it's all good at the moment. We're joint top with albeit Man City got a better goal difference than us, but at the end of the day, 2 games in, it's a good start, and I think
100%.
It's important that we have a good start, because last season, as you well know, we lose our first 3 games, and you know, I mean, listen, we ended up 5th. We nearly got 4th, albeit that our mentality went, and
crucial games.
It was squeaky bum time, and you know, we lost out to Tottenham.
A little bit of a report here, guys. Everyone in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. D, this one's for you. Man United have a bid for João Felix rejected for 130 million euros. They're just throwing money about, aren't they? 130 million, and it got rejected.
I can't see no strategy. What is a strategy? Seriously, what is a strategy?
They're going to continue negotiating over the next few days. His release clause is 350 million. That is a joke. That's for João Felix. Leave off.
You know what it is? Because what it is there's talk about. I know Diego Simeone is keeping tight-lipped on this with regards to maybe Ronaldo going there or doing some sort of swap deal. So right. I don't know if that's all part of the deal or that's just a separate thing. But I mean, listen, Ronaldo wants out, and obviously there's talk. Obviously, Ronaldo's come out and said that he's going to be revealing all, you know, in 2 weeks' time.
What's the chances when the window closes? So he could change his tune if he stays at United. Oh, it was all lies.
Yeah. And well, he said the press. He said 95% of what the press have been writing about him is all lies, and the other 5% is true.
I don't know what there is to lie about. He wants to leave Man United, and his agent's been flying around the place. I don't know.
So it will be interesting. It will be interesting to know what has been said, and he's going to come out with his side of the story as to why all of this saga is. But you can see what's happening. Dee said it earlier on. You know, they were way. It looked like the team cohesively were working together in pre-season. Everything looked nice and blah, blah, blah. Then he comes out and starts saying, I don't want to play for United. I want to play Champions League. He doesn't turn up for pre-season. So it's very difficult to then work in terms of your strategy, in terms of what you want to build around Ronaldo. So all of that is a bit of a mess. Then he comes back, plays, I think, 1 or 2 pre-season games. That's just not enough. And then he walks out in one of the games at half time. And then the antics on the pitch when he loses against Brighton, Brentford, you know, you see him remonstrating and walking off. It's not good. And as I said, half of the players in there don't really want him there. Do you know what I mean? So it is a bit of a mess right now as it stands. Diego says, I don't think the problem with Arsenal is their players. The problem is does Arteta have the tactical nous to beat or draw against City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Chelsea again? And that is the thing. Will he have that? And that's the thing.
I think he's got Chelsea's number out of all of those. He's beaten us a few
probably.
times.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, definitely.
It's the rest of them.
Yes, the rest of them, and that will, we will see the proof of the pudding when we do come up against these guys. So listen, our first 5 games, 6, I expect to get 15 points. Now, I thought the game that would be tricky was Crystal Palace away. I didn't think I thought I'd probably have drawn that game, and that was probably based on having a good pre-season, but knowing Crystal Palace is a bit of a bogey team, and we lost against them last season. But we went there, we beat them 2-well. We was resolute in our defense, and we ended up winning that game 2-0. Then I was thinking, okay, up against Jamie Vardy. Vardy always scores against us, and I was thinking, okay, we should win it because we have got a good record against Leicester at home, and we win that game comfortably 4-2. And now we're away to Bournemouth. So we've got Bournemouth, Aston Villa, and Fulham, I think, at home. Bournemouth away, then Aston Fulham, I think, at home, and then Aston Villa. I expect to get the maximum points, and then after that, I think we are away to Man United. If you could check the fixture thing, I think that's the case at the moment. So if we can build a good foundation, 15, 18 points, that's nice. That's nice. And then you see Man United dropping off, Tottenham hopefully dropping off. You know what I mean? But listen, it's a long season. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So we just keep going. Diego says 130 million euros and have leaking stadium.
It's true. It's very true, Diego.
Oh boy. The saga goes on at Man United, and unfortunately, yes, and we are talking about football. We are talking about the Premier League weekend and transfers and player ratings and match prediction and that. But as sentiment says, this should be the Big D show because every week Man United are making headlines.
Circus, isn't it? Well, that's what he calls it. I'm not even getting on him. That's what he calls it.
It's a circus, and they're in it for the wrong reason. And the club that I knew, club that we went up against, in the late noughties or more, say early 90s and mid 90s. That's what I call two teams battling it out, and it was exciting to watch. And pretty much both teams have fallen off the cliff. But the only team right now that is making any headways and trying to climb out that precipice is Arsenal. Man United seems to be languishing down there in the mud, as some people would say, and they really need to move quick. There's only 2 weeks left to the transfer window closes, and they are panicking right now. That's all I can say is they're panicking. I don't know what you want to thoughts, just your thoughts in terms of our last thoughts before we close the show. And apologies to everybody. I did drop out in the show earlier on. My internet just went off, and I was thinking what's going on. But the guys carried on, and thank you for that, Ez and Big D and Chili.
The boys kept it going.
So just your last thoughts before we end the show.
I genuinely believe this has been the craziest transfer window I think we've seen. I'm going to say ever, because we had the whole Barcelona saga where they can't sign players, and then they can sign players, and they can't register players, and have to almost remortgage their club in order to do this. And then the domino effect that had on my club. Look, we're still having to talk about Barcelona here with Frankie de Jong, Man United, the domino effect there.
Yeah. Man United are looking at Uber as well, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, the deferred wages. They owe 100 million to PK and Busquets. So it's been a very, very mad transfer window. Then Cucurella with Chelsea. It was going to Man City. He's come to Chelsea. Then Brighton said the night before that no deal's been done. And then next 24 hours, he's in a blue kit. So I genuinely think they're still going to be crazy this last 2 weeks. Yeah. Especially as the matches are going on. All the managers are going to be like, right, throw what you need to throw to get this.
Okay, big question before we go. Put it in the chat. Who will be the busiest in the week leading up to who will be the busiest team in terms of getting targets, transferring? Listen, Arsenal, we've bought 5 players, I believe. I think Tottenham have bought 6. I'm talking about our players. Obviously, Man United have bought 3 or 4 if you're signing. Oh, Big D's back. Big D's back.
Oh yeah,
Big D's back in the Big D's back in the building.
D heard Man United. He said, nah. Nah.
Big D's back in the building, bro. Big D's back in the building.
He
Man
said, nah, work can wait.
Big D wants to have his conclusion before this show ends.
No, I didn't even go to work yet. I went to get tuna from the train station.
All right, okay.
She was down in the smoke today, you know.
Yeah.
I said, let me get on the phone while I was driving and shit.
Yeah, man. Root cause said I'm gonna wait till the end of the season before I agree that we are heading in the right direction. And I'll be.
I understand that.
Yeah, I understand that. I absolutely understand that. We'll see what happens. But I was just saying, Big D. I'll say to Ez just before we close out on the show. Who will be the busiest team? Come the penultimate week leading up to the window closing, which team will start going crazy and bringing in players? Put it in the chat as well.
It has to be
what you say?
Right. It has to be us panic buying.
Right.
Did you hear what I said, D?
Yeah.
130 million.
Thing, right? Suddenly you've got 130 million euros for Joao Felix. That means you should have paid the 17 million that Barcelona owed my man and got him in here 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, the way we're doing business is so amateurish. It's amateur hour at the Apollo and thing, man. You know the ones.
Diego saying Chelsea will be the busy come the end of the season. Jammy Chelsea. Yeah,
I agree. I
think between Chelsea and Man United, I think that you're gonna be seeing a lot of movement. I think Arsenal will probably bring in at the most 1 player. I think we'll definitely bring in 1 more player. Hopefully we'll get 2. Yeah. And you never know. God.
Do you know what's silly, D though? Sorry. Now that they've bidded 130 million and it's failed, now other clubs know you've got 100 million to spend.
Exactly, Bridget.
Yeah,
and this is, I think I said this weeks ago about doing all our business in the public eye, in the media, right? It makes no sense. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be hearing this morning that man signed. And you're like, rah, I didn't even know we were signing, man. But no, we go weeks and weeks and weeks in the media, back and forth, allegedly what's being bid and all this kind of. And I'm saying it's such a naive way. You have to remember, from time my guy went down to the pub to meet those fans that were going to block up his yard and start talking about there was money there. From time the man's having a beer, just chatting out his sense, we were doomed. He doomed us with that foolishness. Like, these fans were going to smash your house up. And you thought, okay, I'm going to have a beer with them and just chat for chat's sake. And man's just doing
that's what this country knows, though. This country knows, let's go and have a beer and talk about it. You know what I mean? Rather than you actually just going and fixing the issue.
Yeah. And I look, and it's so amateur. It's just, but yet they get the commercial stuff right.
Right, yeah. Bang on.
And it tells you everything you need to know. Like, every commercial there is locked and loaded before you can blink. Because I don't know if I did a snapshot of the picture. I don't know if I put it on our group chat. And I was looking at these sponsors, and I'm like, what? I think it's like 19 sponsors, you know.
When you get a chance, post it on there because I haven't seen it yet.
But you guys are smart. Just quickly, just in case you didn't know. So everyone else, so Chelsea being, we've got a 900 million deal with Nike. Nike give us that 900 million up front pretty much, or drip fed over 5 years or something, So 100 million every year, whatever. Let's just use that as an example. But Man United go, no. We're gonna buy you out so that we can take everything. So when we buy them players, we get every shirt sale comes in our pocket. You know what I mean? Compared to Chelsea, we don't get our shirt sale money because Nike's paid up front. When we buy Neymar or we buy Mbappe, that's going, thank you very much, because we paid you up front. We're taking that money over the next how many years you've signed him for, and how many years then you're going to be selling them shirts coming to us. You know what I mean? Right. Man United have got it done so well that you pay your money to the sponsors, and then when you sign, your Pogba's, your Ronaldo's, your Ibrahimovich's, you're getting that money straight in your pocket. Thank you very much. Yeah. And that's how and it's brilliant. It's brilliant how United's got their commercial. It's fantastic.
And I've never had a problem with the commercial side of the business. But like I think Calvin had put it in the chat very early on about Glazers not selling because the cash cow is so unbelievable. Why would they?
Yeah.
It's just like, well, why would we sell? Unless you're going to pay us $6 billion, then we might consider it. If you're not paying us $6 billion, we ain't selling. We good.
Yeah, but D, you say that. You might be your favorite YouTuber. I don't know. The guy on United Stand, right?
Oh, he annoys me. Because
you know Mark.
And I'll tell you why.
Mark Goldbridge, yeah.
I'm not going to really call him, but the reason why he annoyed me, right? He did all the black guys that helped him build that channel. He did them all dirty, and they all left flicks, rants, all the brothers,
Saeed,
all of them,
man. Yeah,
and they've all got their own channels now, and they're all doing well. I mean, Saeed left a teaching job.
Yeah, man.
So
big up to Saeed, man. Big up to Saeed. Yeah, no respect.
YouTube and Twitch.
I mean, listen, we're just a little thing in the corner, yeah, doing our thing.
We will come on.
But one of the things he said, which I totally agree with him. He said that if he had 10 billion pounds, yeah, and he went to the Glaziers and said, right, I want to buy you for 10 billion, yeah, the Glaziers would turn around and say to him, well, actually, in say 15 years' time, Man United might be worth more. So why should we sell?
Yeah,
so you saw what I'm trying to say, yeah. And because Man United is a cash cow to the Glaziers, that's all they know. That's all they're focused on. They don't care about what's going on in the field. They don't care about how the stadium looks. They don't care. And I mean, I'm just looking at. Listen, whilst we're talking here, you're posting on our chat here, and I'm looking. I'm thinking,
it's mad, isn't it?
The sponsors is crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
And Andy Davis is spoke, or Chile, as we all know him, says, if you notice that, and I only noticed that the other day, that Forest haven't even got a sponsor on their shirt.
Right.
But how on earth are you sponsoring, or these people all sponsoring you? I don't get it, because, you know what I mean? There's only so much exposure you can give all these people.
But what it is, though, what it is.
Right? So you, obviously, these tops, the team viewer, right? And then it's the training top, the traveling tracksuit for
it's very smart.
It's like everyone's got a team on the different things. So when you go on the website and see the stuff, you're like, this is unbelievable. And then, obviously 3 new kits. I mean, I got the green one coming. I think the green one is wavy. I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm going with that green thing. So I got that in the post coming. But it's like, these mans are just, like I said, commercial beasts. That's why I said last week, we're still a big club. We're just not a great footballing club right now. But commercially, what we do, I mean, you have to remember,
Jason, what are you saying, Jason?
when Pogba signed, right, they reckon they got that 90 million back in less than a week in shirt sales worldwide.
Jason, big up to you, man.
There was a commercial thing going on there. Man like Jason Pitter.
Yeah, he says, Sir Jim, listen, we talked about this, Jason. Sir Jim Radcliffe has come out and we know about this, but the problem, as I said to D, if people go to him and say, bro, or want to buy a part of it, you know what I mean? The Glazers don't have to sell. You know what I mean? And right now, it doesn't look like they want to sell. Yeah? They don't look like they want to sell. But the pressure, the fans have got to put the pressure on them.
But the thing is, the pressure stuff, they haven't cared before. Last year, during the COVID, them man stormed the pitch and all of that. Stop the buses and all that other nonsense they were doing. They didn't care then. Yeah. I don't think they'll start caring now.
You see what you were saying about the COVID? I was in the car. I was listening in the car. I was driving, right? About Ollie, the second and third. He did that in COVID when there was no fans in the stadium. And Liverpool had the bad injury with Van Dijk. And so that's how I knew it was false positioning. Yeah. Because the moment everyone went back to full strength, we got clapped by City, we got clapped by Liverpool. And then it was like, this man wants the plot. He has to go. And so everyone was getting hyped. We finished second. I've been like, bro, look at it. Good. The stadium was empty. There's no pressure on these men to perform in an empty stadium. Like, I've been to Old Trafford with my brother. I've been with Sheena. And trust me, when you go there and you're in that many people, it's very intimidating. And that's just you going there saying, Ridgely's, never mind them not on the pitch, knowing that any straight ball, everyone goes, and the whole stadium does it. And you think, man, they're vexed with me. And straight away starts messing with your head. Because the moment David De Gea let that goal in, it's like everyone went, and the whole team just collapsed. Honestly, it's like everyone exhaled and said, you can't be letting goals in like that. And then we just what was it, 38 minutes, 4-0 down?
35 minutes to be
35
precise.
minutes, yeah. 4-0 down. And I knew there was no coming back. Doesn't matter what Ten Hag did, is in 5 subs. There was no coming back from that. Because what they do, they bottle it. So they all point the finger at the goalkeeper, and then it's like, you know what? I'm going to try and hide it. Nobody wanted the ball after that. I don't know if you noticed that. It was a hot potato. And then he made the subs, and then the subs came on, and there was no real... I thought, we may get a goal back or 2 and then make it a bit nervous for them. Nada, nothing.
Yeah.
It was like it was over. You might as well just gone home and just give them the 3 points at half time.
Yeah.
It's a waste of energy. And this is what he did. I think I said it earlier in the chat, earlier in the stream, that he brought them in on their day off and made them run 14 kilometres. Because that's how much more Brentford on the stats ran more than we did.
Yeah, that's proper though.
Yeah.
Unacceptable, you know?
Just to finish now, which I think is just Twitter talk. Erlen Moss put in a bid to buy Man United, but I think he came out and said
he was joking.
He was joking.
In an interview,
He said it, but I think he was joking though.
In the morning and said he was running joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was joking.
Reporting that Jarfi.
I mean, it would be a nice thing to have him buying a club. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine? That would be insane, wouldn't it? But then he's probably got no interest in football. But you know what, bro? Buy the club, let it make money for yourself, and just put someone to run it for you. Someone you trust. So right, I'm giving you Man United to run. There you go. I welcome that, you know, because you have to remember that's like 600 grand for him.
The person you want is Roman Abramovich. That's the one you want.
Roman. But
best owner.
He actually can't buy now, can he? They won't let him buy again.
Not until they settle this war stuff. You can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Last question. Yeah, because I'm getting the daggers from the missus. Yeah. Right. So last question, because I should have wrapped this up at half past. We do say we're wrapping up the show. She's my manager. Yeah, she was going to dock my pay. Right. It says, if you were too sure, Arteta, which Manchester United players would you go for?
You first, Norms.
I'm going to be honest. Right now, with the attitude, gosh, oh boy, it's a hard one, you know.
Really?
Varane. Surely you take Eriksen, Norman. You take Eriksen, and you take
Varane and Eriksen. I'll take Martin. I'll take Martinez.
Let's limit it to 3. To 3.
Okay, Varane, Martinez, and Eriksen. If there was a car boot sale.
All right. I would go and take. I'll go and take Sancho. I'll go and take Rashford. And I'm taking Bruno.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And on that bombshell, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to everybody in the chat. It's been real. So much stuff going on. And big up to Adi, big up to Ez, big up to Chili for taking time out to just have the time of football chatting and just the frustrations, the adulations, and whatever you want to name it. We go again next week. We'll see what happens concerning the Premier League, concerning the transfer window. Will Man United get players over the line? Can Arsenal go on a free game unbeaten run? And will Chelsea get Aubameyang? I'm worried.
Yeah.
Jason said, take Bruno now. I'll take him, Jace, man. Don't forget the first season Bruno, you know. The first season Bruno.
Yeah. You know what? And I hear where this is coming from, right? You have to remember, Ez, right? This guy was on everything. Corners, penalties, and free kicks.
Yeah.
Right? He was stat padded. And I remember when no one came in for him, I said, why does no one else want him? And they were saying, his ball retention is awful. And I'll be like, really? Because I hadn't really watched him. Then I went and watched him. And I said, his ball retention is horrible. But that's what they want. What can I do? Remember, Ollie needed a lift in that January transfer window. And Bruno was it. And he came in and stat padded and everyone was losing their minds. But then the moment Ronnie came, it's like my man just Just took a
Nah,
back
he
seat.
saw his big brother came and he's like,
Yeah, took a back seat in it. Yeah. And
Well, listen, guys, we
Yeah.
have to go. But
Anyway.
listen, please smash the like button, subscribe and share if you're new. As I said, on the road to 300. Hopefully, we'll get there by the end of the season. And it's been a great show. Thank you again to everybody in the chat. It's been absolutely brilliant. The interaction with it. Let's build this community together. Again, like I say, a big thank you to Big D, to Ez, to Chili, and obviously Kofi wasn't on tonight, but I'm sure at some point he'll be watching the playback and putting in his stuff in the comments. But listen, thank you everyone. Take care. In noodles we trust. Take care and God bless.